One of the things I get asked quite a bit as a running coach is what are the runs I need to do each week to make myself faster. So people who are just trying to do a little bit of running, who are trying to just get themselves a little bit quicker. And really when it comes down to it, there's kind of 4 different types of runs you can do each week, and you don't have to do them all each week. So the first run would be just the easy run. So this is the kind of bog standard, the foundation for everything. It's just going out and get your easy run. And by easy, what we mean is, some people say is that zone 1 or zone 2, and forget about all that. All that stuff is just noise. Just go out and run easy. Get changed, go out, make sure that when you're running, you'll be able to hold a conversation just like I am now. You don't need to be pushing it. You don't need to be monitoring your heart rate. You don't need to be worrying about whether you're in zone 1 or 2. It should feel really easy. You should be able to talk. You should enjoy it. If you're not enjoying it and it feels like it's a little bit hard, you're going too fast. If you're running as slow as you can and it still feels that way, then probably what you need to do is just a little bit of walking or walk-run. Don't be afraid to walk if you think that you're not getting the benefit from what the running is giving you. When it comes to running, across all standards and all different types of runs and all disciplines, all races, all times, you just need to find the stimulus that you want. So if the stimulus that you need is just an easy session, go out and do the easy session. If running is not easy, then you just need to walk. And if you do that for a couple of weeks, you will get to the point where you can run easy. And that will do you just like worlds of benefit before we go into talking about any of the runs that I'm going to explain next. So your easy run is kind of your bog standard. That's the first one you need to do. And if you're not doing that easy run consistently and you're not out getting it done kind of on a regular basis, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 times a week, then you shouldn't really worry about any of the runs that I'm going to talk about next. Okay, so the second run that you do once you have your easy run down and you can kind of hold a fairly steady pace for whatever time it is you're doing, what you do is once a week you start to lengthen that out. So this is our long run we're going to talk about. So a long run, ideally, I think kind of most people would kind of think of a long run as like 10 miles or 16k, but that's just relevant to how much running you do. If you're only like a 5k runner, you're trying to just get into park runs, then your long run might just be 8 to 10k. So don't get bogged down again on the distance of a long run. It should be long relative to you. So if you're getting out a couple of times a week and you're just doing 3 or 4k, you're building up maybe to 5 or 6k, then your long run is like maybe 10 kilometers. If you're struggling to do 4 or 5k each run, then your long run might be just like a walk run for maybe 6 to 7 kilometers. If you're a runner, if you've been running a bit and you just want to make your running a little bit better, and you're running, let's say you're doing 3 days a week, you're doing these easy runs and you're getting up to, let's say 8 or 9k, maybe even 10k, then your long run might be somewhere between 12 and 15 kilometers, just going really easy. Again, don't worry about adding intensity or anything into that long run. Just begin with just getting it done. So one run that's significantly longer than the runs you're doing midweek. Let's say you're going to do that long run at the weekend. Okay, so that's your second type of run, and that's the one that I would focus on once you have the easy runs nailed down. And then the third run, again, this is going to come once you have that long run done, and there's a reason why I'm putting it in this order, and I'll explain that at the end. The third run that I would do is just some intervals. So just going out and doing some interval training. So what you do is you do a warm up, let's say for 5 or maybe 10 minutes. Again, that's running at your easy pace, taking it really easy, just bringing the heart rate up, getting the body warm. And then once you're a little bit warmer and moving, you can do something like I would always start off like I'm going to do this week. 10 by 1 minute on, 1 minute off. It's a really easy session. It's a really good session, really beneficial session. So I'll run fast for 1 minute and then I'll run slow for 1 minute. Sometimes I might have to walk during that slow minute because my heart rate might have went too high and I might just be feeling a little bit tired from the 1 minute bursts. And I'll just do 10 of them. And you can, if you don't think you can do 10, you can start off with 5 and then the following week maybe do 7. Following week maybe do 9 and then build up to 10. And just adding some interval sessions is really good. Interval sessions are really good for bringing the fitness to another level. Really good stimulus to kind of get some neuromuscular adaptations. Obviously some cardiovascular adaptation because you're going to bring your heart rate up a lot higher than you would doing your easy run or your long run. And it's just a really good way to kind of build strength, build endurance and develop that cardiovascular system. And that's your third run. And then the fourth run I would do, and again, you don't have to do them all in the same week. In fact, I would probably never do all 4 of these in 1 week, and I'll explain at the end how you kind of mix and match each week. But the fourth run is just a tempo run. So what you do for this is you go out just like you did for your interval session. You get a little bit of warm up, you get the heart rate up, you get your body moving, and then you take the pace up to slightly uncomfortable. So past the easy pace. The easy pace should be really easy, able to hold a conversation. When you're doing your tempo session, you probably should be able to hold a conversation, but where you would struggle to do more than one sentence at a time without having to take a breath. So you're going to be running, maybe if you're with somebody, you might be able to just kind of blurt out one sentence and then run on, and then it might take you a second or two before you can blurt out the second sentence. So you're definitely working at a little bit higher intensity than you would for your easy run. To start off, I would do a warm-up maybe for 10 minutes, tempo run for 10 minutes, cool down for 10 minutes. And then each week or each time you do the tempo run, just add 5 minutes to it if you can. So let's say on week 1 you're just doing 10-minute warm-up, 10-minute tempo, 10-minute cool down. Then on week 2 it's 10-minute warm-up, 15-minute tempo, and build it up until you get to 20. And then once you get to 20, what I would do is once you get the tempo up to 20 minutes, I would then, after that 20 minutes, take a 5-minute easy and then add 5 minutes tempo, and then 5 and 10-minute cool down. So what you're doing is 10-minute warm-up, 20-minute tempo, 5-minute easy, 5-minute tempo, 10-minute cool down. And then, whoops, I just dropped my hat. Yeah, you can just keep doing that until you build up to 2 sets of 20 minutes. I mean, that will take some time, but if you can get 2 sets of 20-minute tempo with a 5-minute in between, you're going to be getting really fit. You're going to be getting really fast if you can build up to doing that. That's quite a good session. That's quite a marathon specific session. If you're just concentrating on 5k, you could probably do that tempo run with maybe 10 minutes either side. If you're focusing on 10k, again, maybe 15 minutes on half marathon, yeah, maybe 15 minutes will do you as well for that. That's pretty much it for the tempo run. So you do those 4 runs. Like I said, you don't need to get them all each week. What I would suggest doing, if you're just an easy runner and you're just trying to build up a little bit of speed, get yourself a little bit faster, I would say get the easy runs done each week. Absolutely, I would say aim for 2 of them if you can. And then I would do an interval session midweek, and then the long run, and then the following week I would do my easy runs and I would do a tempo session instead of the interval, and then the long run. So each week you're going to do easy runs, each week you're going to do a long run, and every other week you're going to do either an intensity session or a tempo session. And you can just build in it from there. So I kind of explained how you build in the tempo session. If you want to build in the intensity session, you know, like I said, you do 10 minutes. You do 10 minutes on off. You can build it up to 15 minutes on off, 20 minutes on off. You can do 2 by 10 minutes on off and build it up to maybe 8 by 3 minutes on off, stuff like that. There's no specific way of doing it, but just try and give yourself equidistance where you're working hard to when you're resting, and you'll pretty much have it. That's just the simple way of doing it. And they're the 4 runs, 4 really simple ways of doing them, and they're going to make you really fit, really fast, really strong. As you progress out that long run, what you can start doing then is, on the weeks that you're not doing the tempo, you can add in a little bit of tempo into the long run. So you're kind of killing 2 birds with the 1 stone. So say this is when you're really got all this stuff nailed down. On the week where you do your intensity run, you can go out and do a long run with some intensity in, or some tempo in it. So maybe just go out and do, like, let's say 5k easy long run, and then drop it down to about 20 minutes of a tempo run, and then finish off with another 5 or 6 or 7k just to finish off that long run. That's a fantastic way of getting more volume into your training and getting more intensity into it. Again, monitor all that with how you feel. You don't want to get injured, so, you know, like I said, this type of run where you put the tempo into the long run, that comes when you're quite fit and, you know, you've done a lot of this for a couple of weeks, a couple of months even. But yeah, it's definitely the way to build it. And once you get there, then you're going to be a lot stronger than most runners out there. And that's pretty much, in a nutshell, how I would tell anybody to get better and faster at running. I hope this made sense. Let me know if it did. And remember, guys, run far, run fast, but most of all, run sensible.